Hello Golden State Warriors fans. We are here once again to bring you the latest news related to our team, and I would like to emphasize how committed we are to improving our performance to achieve great results. Before we dive into this intriguing news, I kindly request you to show your support by clicking the like button, and if you are not yet subscribed to our channel, I invite you all to join us on an exciting journey. Remember to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything.
Warriors give Rockets a taste of playoff reality. Draw first blood. The Golden State Warriors wasted no time showing the young Houston Rockets what playoff basketball really looks like. In Game 1, the Dubs executed their defensive game plan with poise and precision, exposing the Rockets' offensive flaws in a 95-85 road win. Coming into the series, Houston's struggles from beyond the arc were no secret. They ranked 21st in the league in three-point efficiency, and in Game 1, they hit just 6 of 28, 20.7%. The Warriors bet on that weakness and won big. One play captured the Warriors' defensive identity, for defenders swarming Fred VanVleet on a drive, while Jimmy Butler stayed disciplined, refusing to overhelp and leave Jabari Smith Jr. open in the corner. It wasn't just effort, it was intelligence. Golden State knew the Rockets lacked ball movement and creativity in the half-court. They ranked dead last in passes and assists per possession, and that stagnation was evident. Butler and Draymond Green read the offense like a book, cutting off lanes, jumping passes, and forcing tough contested looks. Even Alperen Sengun, Houston's most consistent threat, struggled to gain ground against Draymond in isolation. Meanwhile, Jalen Green faced drop coverages, packed paint, and very few clean looks. Despite losing the rebounding battle, Houston had 22 offensive boards. The Warriors stayed composed. Curry led with 31 points on 78% shooting. Butler added 25 of his own and played both ends like a seasoned veteran. Together, they delivered when it mattered most. This wasn't a flawless game from Golden State, but it was a firm reminder: experience, execution, and star power still matter in the playoffs. And in this series, the Warriors struck first, and hard. Momentum, mind games, and the road ahead. Golden State's Game 1 win didn't just set the tone, it forced Houston to look in the mirror. The Rockets, a team praised all season for their defensive discipline and youthful energy, suddenly looked overwhelmed by a team that's been through the fire too many times to flinch. "I think we were a step slow," Rockets head coach Ime Udoka admitted after the game. "They dictated everything: the pace, the physicality, the decisions." And that's the story right now. The Warriors didn't just win, they controlled the game mentally. Their experience showed in how they navigated each possession, while Houston often defaulted to isolation plays, rushed threes, and forced drives into traffic. Around the league, analysts quickly took note. ESPN's Kendrick Perkins called Butler the difference-maker Golden State didn't know they needed. Others praised the Warriors' ability to stay composed, even when the Rockets made a late push and cut a 23-point deficit down to a single possession. But it wasn't just the stars. Role players like Brandon Podziemski and Moses Moody stepped up in crucial moments, Podziemski with a game-saving offensive rebound and assist to Draymond, and Moody with a clutch three in the fourth. These weren't just lucky plays, they were signs of a system that trusts every piece on the board. A message to the league? With this win, the Warriors reminded everyone, don't count them out. While much of the media spotlight has focused on teams like Denver, OKC, and Phoenix, Golden State quietly looks like a squad rediscovering its edge at the perfect time. The arrival of Jimmy Butler, with his grit and playoff mindset, may have reawakened the championship DNA in this group. As Draymond Green put it, "We're not here to relive the past. We're here to write the next chapter." Adjustments coming in Game 2. Make no mistake, Houston will adjust. Expect quicker ball movement, more aggressive rebounding, and an attempt to involve Sengun earlier in the offense. VanVleet and Jalen Green will need to find better rhythm, and their defense will have to find an answer for Curry-Butler pick-and-rolls that punish them all night. Still, the question remains, can the Rockets stay mentally sharp through the grind of a full series? Game 1 exposed small cracks. Now, Golden State's job is to keep pressing on them. Tip-off for Game 2 is set for Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and the pressure is officially on Houston. If the Warriors steal another on the road, this series could swing out of reach before it ever reaches Chase Center. Warriors show their grit in Game 1 victory over Rockets. Jimmy Butler 3 shines in playoff debut. Warriors defense stifles Houston. The Warriors kicked off their playoff run in commanding fashion, taking Game 1 against the Houston Rockets with a gritty 95-85 win on the road Sunday night. The spotlight belonged to Jimmy Butler III, who delivered a powerhouse debut performance in a Warriors uniform, dropping 25 points, grabbing 7 rebounds, dishing out 6 assists, and swiping 5 steals. In doing so, Butler joined elite company, becoming just the 4th player in franchise history to post at least 25 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 steals in a single playoff game, standing alongside Stephen Curry, Rick Barry, and Tim Hardaway. Butler's scoring was steady and timely. He put up points in every quarter and iced the game with 6 clutch points in the final 2 minutes, including a mid-range jumper over Alperen Sengun and a fast break dunk off a steal. It was a statement game. Jimmy's one of the best in the league, and tonight you saw exactly why, head coach Steve Kerr said. He impacts the game in every possible way. He gives us poise, confidence, and belief. He's a winner. Locked in on defense. Warriors smother Rockets. Golden State's offense wasn't at its sharpest, but their defense sent a clear message: they're here to fight. The Warriors held the Rockets to just 85 points, Houston's lowest total of the season. It was the first time all year that the Warriors won a game while scoring under 100 points, previously 0-8 in such games. The key? Relentless perimeter pressure and lockdown defensive execution. This is what playoff basketball is all about, said Draymond Green. We didn't shoot it well, but our defense showed up, and that's how you win on the road in the postseason. The Warriors posted the second-best defensive rating of any team in the first round so far, 95.5, trailing only the Thunder. Houston was held to just 39.1% from the field and a frigid 20.6% from beyond the arc. Golden State's backcourt defensive duo, Stephen Curry and Brandon Podziemski, played a huge role. Curry held his primary matchup to just 4 of 16 shooting, the lowest FG% allowed by any player who contested 15-plus shots in Game 1 league-wide. Podziemski wasn't far behind, limiting his man to 5 of 18. We were flying around out there, Green added. No easy buckets, nothing in rhythm. We stuck to our plan and made them uncomfortable. The Butler-Green defensive connection. While Curry continues to carry the offensive mantle, Butler has quickly emerged as a defensive complement to Green, the Robin to his Batman on that end of the court. Butler recorded 5 of the team's 14 steals and was directly responsible for turning Rocket turnovers into transition points, helping generate 25 points off Houston's 17 giveaways. We didn't just respond, we responded with force, Butler said. Draymond Green, recently named a finalist for the NBA Defensive Player of the Year, praised the team's effort but sees room for improvement, particularly on the glass. Houston grabbed 22 offensive rebounds, something Green sees as one of their biggest threats. That's their game, he said. They crash hard and get boards on over 60% of their misses. It's wild, that's probably their best offense. We've got to clean that up. With the Warriors locked in defensively and the playoffs heating up, all eyes turn to Game 2 on Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. One thing's for sure, this team is ready for the moment, and with Jimmy Butler stepping up alongside the core, they're a force no one wants to face. Momentum shifts, expectations rise. Following the win, the buzz around the league wasn't just about the scoreboard, it was about the Warriors' statement of intent. Pundits, analysts, and fans alike took notice of the team's renewed defensive identity and the seamless integration of Jimmy Butler into Golden State's system. NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski called Butler's performance a playoff tone-setter, and emphasized how his mindset may be exactly what this Warriors team needed to reclaim its championship edge. On social media, Butler's Game 1 highlights quickly went viral, especially the late-game sequence where he stripped Sengun and finished with authority in transition. Draymond Green's post-game comments also gained traction as he reminded everyone that, the Warriors aren't done yet, we've been through the fire, and we know how to win when it matters most. Meanwhile, the Rockets find themselves at a crossroads. After an up-and-down regular season, they entered the playoffs as a dark horse, but Game 1 exposed their lack of composure against elite defensive pressure. Their inability to adapt to the Warriors' rotations, combined with poor shooting decisions, has already prompted internal questions about adjustments heading into Game 2. We've got to be more disciplined, said Rockets head coach Ime Udoka post-game. They dictated the pace and made us uncomfortable. That can't happen again. Warriors' depth stepping up. While the headlines focused on Butler, the unsung heroes of Game 1 quietly reinforced the team's depth. Rookie Brandon Podziemski's impact on both ends of the court was significant. Not only did he play suffocating defense, but he also chipped in with timely assists and hustle plays that kept the energy high. Klay Thompson, though not lights out from deep, brought veteran savvy to key moments, drawing charges, spacing the floor, and making crucial reads. Kevin Looney and Jonathan Kuminga combined for 17 rebounds, battling Houston's aggressive frontcourt and preventing second-chance points from becoming overwhelming. Steve Kerr emphasized the importance of collective effort. Everyone who stepped on the floor tonight contributed something meaningful. That's what makes this team dangerous. We have stars, yes, but we also have guys who understand their roles and embrace them. Looking ahead, Game 2 and the bigger picture. Heading into Game 2, the Warriors are aware that Houston will come out swinging. Adjustments will be made, and Golden State expects a more physical, urgent response from the young Rockets squad. The key for the Warriors will be maintaining their defensive intensity while improving efficiency on offense, especially in transition and at the three-point line, where they went just 10 of 32 in Game 1. "We left points on the table," Curry admitted. "But that's the beauty of a series. You take the win, learn from it, and come back sharper." There's also growing speculation that the Warriors are quietly molding into a dark horse contender in the West. With teams like Denver and Phoenix battling inconsistencies, Golden State's chemistry, playoff experience, and new defensive identity could be the X factor. Jimmy Butler, ever the competitor, is embracing the moment. "I didn't come here just to play hard, I came here to win. This team knows what it takes. I'm just adding to the culture." A familiar spark, a new chapter. It's only one game, but the energy in the Bay feels different. There's an edge, a hunger, and a belief that this group might just have one more run left in them. With Butler adding fire to the Warriors' core and the defense anchoring the team like it hasn't in years, Game 1 might not be an anomaly, it might be a warning shot. Game 2 tips off Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If the Warriors bring the same tenacity, Houston may find themselves in deeper trouble. And if they take a 2-0 lead heading back to Chase Center? Well, the league better be ready for what comes next. Warriors vs. Rockets. Key takeaways from a gritty regular season series. If there was one opponent that brought out the best in Jonathan Kuminga this season, it was the Houston Rockets. Before their first-round playoff clash, the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets faced off 5 times during the regular season, including a dramatic in-season tournament quarterfinal. The Warriors edged out the season series 3-2, but every game was closely contested, and Kuminga consistently stood out as one of the most impactful players on the floor. Here's a breakdown of the regular season series and the key storylines heading into the playoffs. Game results recap. April 6th, Rockets 106, Warriors 96, Chase Center. Houston snapped Golden State's 5-game winning streak with a strong defensive performance. The Rockets shut down the Warriors' top stars, holding Stephen Curry to just 3 points on 1-for-10 shooting, and Draymond Green to only 2 points. Dillon Brooks led Houston with 24 points on 10 of 13 shooting. February 13th, Warriors 105, Rockets 98, Houston. Despite being on the second night of a back-to-back, the Warriors came out strong. Curry scored 27 points, while all 5 starters finished in double figures. Jimmy Butler added 19 points and 8 rebounds, and Draymond Green contributed 13 points and 8 assists in a well-rounded effort. December 11th, Rockets 91, Warriors 90, Houston. The most painful loss of the series for Golden State came during the NBA in-season tournament. The Warriors led late but allowed Houston to score the final 7 points of the game, including the game-winning free throws. Golden State had a final shot to win, but it didn't fall, ending a 15-game win streak against the Rockets. December 5th, Warriors 99, Rockets 93, Chase Center. Jonathan Kuminga delivered a career night, scoring 33 points, including 14 in the fourth quarter. His aggressive play down the stretch helped seal the win, highlighted by a clutch drive to the rim in the final seconds. November 2nd, Warriors 127, Rockets 121, Houston, OT. Golden State blew a 31-point lead but managed to escape with an overtime win. Kuminga once again played a key role, scoring 6 of the team's 8 overtime points and finishing with 23 points in 26 minutes. Kuminga's breakout against Houston. Jonathan Kuminga had his most productive stretch of the season against the Rockets. He averaged 21.3 points per game across 5 matchups, his highest against any team he faced multiple times. He shot 50.8% from the field and 42.1% from three, hitting nearly 5 three-pointers per game. He was especially impactful in clutch moments, scoring the majority of Golden State's overtime points on November 2nd and delivering 14 points in the fourth quarter during his career-high performance on December 5th. Although he was held out of the final 2 games of the series, both head coach Steve Kerr and teammates have emphasized that Kuminga will be a key factor in the playoffs, and against Houston, he's already shown he can be a difference-maker. Every game was close. Each of the 5 matchups this season was decided by 10 points or fewer. The closest came in the tournament quarterfinal, where Houston won by just 1 point. All 5 games carried the physicality and intensity of a playoff battle, highlighting the rivalry that has developed between these two defensive-minded teams. Limited sample of Curry and Butler together. Stephen Curry missed the first 2 matchups against Houston, and Jimmy Butler didn't join the team until after the third. That means the version of the Warriors the Rockets saw throughout the season wasn't quite the same as the one they'll face in the postseason. In the one game where both Curry and Butler played at their usual level, February 13th, the Warriors won by the largest margin of the series. However, in their most recent meeting, Houston held Curry to just 3 points, marking one of the lowest scoring games of his career. What it means for the playoffs. If the regular season taught us anything, it's that this series won't be easy for either team. The games have been tight, physical, and unpredictable. Jonathan Kuminga has shown he can rise to the occasion against Houston, and his return could swing the balance for the Warriors. The Rockets have proven they can defend at a high level. The Warriors know they need to execute better, especially on offense. With both teams now at full strength, the postseason matchup promises to be even more intense. The regular season gave us a preview. Now, the real battle begins. Strategic adjustments loom for both teams. Heading into the playoffs, both teams are aware that the regular season is just a preview. With each side holding multiple wins in the 5-game series, the coaching staffs now face the challenge of making adjustments based on those outcomes. For the Warriors, one of the main concerns is consistency, particularly in the second half. In several games against Houston, Golden State showed a tendency to lose momentum after strong starts. Their drop in shooting efficiency in late quarters, particularly in the November 2nd matchup where they shot just 36% in the second half, exposed a vulnerability that Houston could look to exploit. Coach Steve Kerr has acknowledged that better ball movement and spacing are crucial, especially against Houston's physical perimeter defense. The Rockets have made a habit of crowding Curry and forcing other Warriors to make plays, something Golden State has struggled to do consistently, especially when Kuminga isn't on the floor. Kuminga's role moving forward. Despite being benched for the last 2 regular season matchups, Jonathan Kuminga's performances earlier in the series continue to resonate. Several media outlets, including The Athletic and NBC Sports Bay Area, have highlighted Kuminga as a potential series changer due to his athleticism, ability to attack mismatches, and scoring efficiency against the Rockets. Analysts are also questioning his recent reduced minutes. In a recent post-game interview, Kerr hinted that Kuminga's role may be expanded again. We know what Jonathan can do, especially against teams that switch defensively and rely on physicality. He's a matchup problem. He'll have his chance. With his proven success against Houston and the postseason demanding versatility, it's likely only a matter of time before Kuminga becomes a central figure again, possibly sooner than later. Houston's confidence is building. On the Rockets side, the team is entering the playoffs with momentum and a clear sense of identity. Led by young stars like Draymond Green and the steady leadership of veterans like Dillon Brooks and Fred VanVleet, Houston's defensive energy has been a calling card all season. In particular, their ability to contain Stephen Curry in key moments has become a talking point. Rockets head coach Ime Udoka credited his team's discipline and preparation for their success against Curry. We know what he's capable of, and we respect it. But we also believe in our system. When we execute defensively, we can challenge anyone, Udoka said. That confidence, combined with their late-game execution, like the 7 unanswered points to close out the December 11th win, has made Houston a legitimate threat. National media reaction. The tightly contested season series has also drawn the attention of national media. ESPN's Brian Windhorst described the matchup as one of the most quietly intense rivalries brewing in the West, while former NBA player Richard Jefferson pointed out how Golden State's reliance on veteran experience could clash with Houston's youth and athleticism in a way that could tilt the series in either direction. You've got one team that's been there and done that, and another team that's hungry, fearless, and doesn't care about reputation. That's a dangerous mix, Jefferson said during a recent broadcast. What to watch for in the playoffs. As the first-round playoff series tips off, several key factors will be in focus. Kuminga's role and minutes. Will Kerr trust him in high-leverage situations? Curry's offensive rhythm. Can he bounce back from a historically low performance and reassert control? Houston's late-game execution. Will they maintain the poise they showed in the regular season when games tighten up? Coaching decisions under pressure. Both Steve Kerr and Ime Udoka will be tested in their ability to adapt mid-series. The regular season gave us glimpses of a budding rivalry. Now, with every possession magnified and every decision potentially series-defining, the stakes are higher than ever. Golden State has experience. Houston has momentum. And Jonathan Kuminga might just be the swing piece that tips the balance. Game 1 is set. The series is anything but predictable.